So a top college is taking a bold stance on underage drinking. The president of Dartmouth vowing to tackle partying and other bad behaviors he says are harming the school's reputation. Time to bring in the man panel. Outdoorsman Steve Rinella is a host on the Sportsman Channel. Ari Zoldan, the CEO of Quantum Network, and NASCAR driver Kyle Petty, also the founder of the Kyle Petty Charity Ride across America. And we're going to find out about that in just a minute. But first, what do you make of this, Steve, that Dartmouth says, look, we got a serious binge drinking problem here, just drinking in general. We've had a 14% drop off in applications just this year alone. So we're going to take a stand.
I think it's probably they're looking at the behavior rather than the drinking. Like, I went through a boatload of college and enjoyed my fair share of the drinks, but the behavior didn't come with it. And I think one thing that happens when you're growing up, you grow up in an environment with many different influences. You have your family, neighbors, your parents, friends, perhaps a church, whatever, and you get in a really insular environment at college. I think it invites and sometimes exacerbates behavioral problems.
Mm-hmm. Kyle, they've also had these problems with sexual assault incidents, and they're basically saying that the guy in charge is saying he's admitting it's dysfunctional there.
Yeah, and I agree. I think the drinking issue goes along with the behavioral issues. When you look at the atmosphere, the sexist, the racist atmosphere, some of the other issues that they've had up there, mm-hmm. It's all combined. And I go back to that. These kids go off to college. They didn't just start this. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, I'm free. I'm outside the fence.
Yeah, but,
but
the question is also whose responsibility is it right now? No, but it's not solely the parents. Well, ultimately, it comes down to the student. But it's the parents. It's the people in the academia, at the university. The culture is continuing to get worse.
Even great parents, kids can go off to college. They're finally free from any discipline, and they go crazy, right?
But we're sending kids. You're sending kids to college. You're not sending them to prison. You're sending them to college. It is the school's responsibility to monitor and to have set rules. I do agree with that.
Much of this happens off campus, though, and they're talking about themed parties that are being planned by sober people.
But there's also rules, and there's actually enforcing the rules, and I think they're two very, very different things. And the academics in the school are not enforcing.
But is it just Dartmouth? Because Animal House came from Dartmouth. The people are saying that beer pong came from Dartmouth too. But is this just Dartmouth, or is this the college environment today in 2014 in general?
It's the culture, and I think it's become unfortunately, it's become very cool to be part of a frat, to be part of a hazing process, to binge, to throw up all over the place, to pass out, to post it on Instagram. So it's an entire package, unfortunately.
If we went outside this building, down 6th Avenue or whatever, in a line of bars, and we did what they did, we would be in jail. Okay, you would get arrested. Now they just go to a disciplinary council or whatever it is. The school takes care of it. There's not strong enough enforcement from that standpoint.
People are dying. You see it on the news every week.
Well,
people are dying.
What about banning fraternities, which is a thing to way off in the extreme? Do you think that has anything to do with it, or is this just part of cultural life in college?
I can't see that banning fraternities is going to do it, because fraternities have fraternities have been around as long as college. They sometimes have had a conformist role. They've sometimes had more of a reactionary role. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's going to do it. I think that comes down to individuals making choices. And a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is happening off of college campuses. It's poor choice making.
Yeah, but
I don't think you're going to legislate this out.
These individuals are also young. Most of them are under 21 years old. So it has to be a collective. It's got to come from the academics. It's got to come from the administrators. And ultimately, you're right.
So
it does have to come to the students.
It sounds like you're all in favor of the fact that this Dartmouth president is taking the lead and saying that something needs to be done with the behavior.
But he needs to enforce it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, because this is just the first step. All right. So, Kyle, I heard a rumor. You're trading in 4 wheels for 2?
For 2.
What do you got coming up?
We do a motorcycle ride every year across the country. It's called Kyle Petty Charity Ride across America. This is our 20th year. Hard to believe that we've ridden motorcycles for 20 years. We've raised over $14 million for different charities. We have a camp in North Carolina called Victory Junction, part of Paul Newman's Serious Fun group of camps. We've seen 17,000 children in 10 years since my oldest son was killed in a racing accident. We started the camp in his honor. This year we're going from Carlsbad, California, to Tucson, to Las Cruces, up to Midland, Texas, down to Austin, Texas, over to Beaumont, New Orleans, and Tallahassee, and then to Daytona. First year we've ever gone coast to coast.
This starts May 3rd. All the best to you on that.
Thank you.
And men, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.